Bharat. Bharat. Bharat.
Okay.
He's in the garden. It's okay. Can you hear us? Bharat.
So I'm going to mute Mahendra Bhai.
He's coming up.
Okay. Okay. I muted you, Mahendra Bhai, until I sort of pass over to you. So, Minesh, I'm going to start. Yeah, good to go. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Savne. Thank you for taking part in the Sog Sabha for our beloved Lilawanti. She was the daughter of Kanji Meghji Soni and Santokben Kanji Meghji Soni of Mombasa. Lilawanti was born in Panwar, India in 1937. She was 4 years old when she traveled to Mombasa with her mother, Santokben, and her dadima, Motiben. Our Lilawanti moved to the UK in 1980, and for the last 2.5 years, we have been blessed to have had her reside with us until her demise on Saturday, 26th June 2021. I will now hand over to Mahendra Bhai and Chandu Bhai Kara for bhajans and reading from the Bhagavad Gita. Thereafter, we will hear a few words from Harshad Bhai Rana from Nairobi, from Bharat Bhai Ratan Siddhanak from Mombasa, and from Praveen Mama Patni from the US. And after that, we will say a few words to thank everybody for attending this Sog Sabha. Jai Shri Krishna. Okay, Mahendra Bhai ne unmute kariye.
Raghuvanshanatham Karunya Rupam Karunakarantam Shri Ramachandram Sharanam Prabhade Manojvam Marutulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayudamokyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prabhaye Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prabhaye Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Ejivancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jai Jai Radha Rama Jai Jai Radha Jai Jai Radha Oh Jai Jai Radha Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Shree रघुवीर हरषि उतराई रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई सस बदन तुम्हारो आस कई श्री सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद जब मेरे दिगपाल जाते कवि गोविंद कर सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना राम में लाए राज्य पद दीना लंकेश्वर सब युग सहस्र योजन परमाणु नीलो वायु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेरी मुख माही जल दिलांगे रंजनाई दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते शुभमय नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा इनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ कोई आवे सोई अमृत जीवन फल पावे एक पल से साधु सुनति असुर निकल अश्वर राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा जन्म जन्म सदा अनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करिए संकट घटे बीते सर्व पीड़ा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा कृपा करो जो सतमान पाठ कर सुने बंदे हनुमान चालीसा कोई से Ram Lakhan Sita Sahita Ragaya Samshura Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Bolo Siyavar Ramachandra Bhagavan Ki Jai Pavan Sundar Hanuman Ki Jai Umapati Mahadev Ki Jai Bolo Re Bhai Sab Santan Ki Jai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Jnanantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunamanitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Satguru Deva Ki Jai Sarve Vaishnavanam Jai Sri Krishna Jai Sri Ram. We are gathered together today in remembrance of Lilawanti Ben Kanji Meghji, or Lilamasi as Hitu introduced her. And our connection goes back to our hometown of Bhanwal. And this attachment, connection, whatever you call it, is actually predestined and preset for us. Yes, we are born in the Parajya Patni community. Yes, we are all combined together in a family connection, be it uncle, auntie, brother, sister. If you go into our Gujarati, the relationships becomes Bapuji, Ba, Kaka, Kaki, Ada, Motaba, Fai, Fua, Masi, Masa. All these connections are manifested physically and through blood. But we also have a connection that is on a spiritual platform via our own individual Atma, our own individual spiritual identity. And that identity is completely independent. But it is the part and a parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we only alive to think about this at very minor occasions, but very important occasions. You could even say life-changing. Because at the time of death, we suddenly come to realization that this isn't permanent. But up to that point in time, we still go in illusion that it is permanent. And that is very, very unfortunate. Fortunate in one sense that it blanks our mind, but takes you to the ostrich mentality, where the ostrich puts its head in the ground and thinks it's hiding, but the rest of his body is completely above ground. To come out of this illusion, there is only one solution, and that is to surrender the lotus feet of Shree Hari and to go to those lotus feet in the mode of service and devotion, as demonstrated by Lilawanti. We will hear her life story, and it is a fact. But for us, for my brother and I, the most pertinent part is that she was in service of her mother, aged mother, in Oxford, I believe, until it got to a stage where she cannot cope. And Hitu Jayu in Indumami, she became this is the part of a connection. Doesn't matter where it's coming from, but it's arranged by Krishna. And this is demonstrated today in the Bhagavad Gita. Because if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, that is a spoken word of Krishna himself on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, spoken to his devotee, Arjuna, who is completely helpless. And the whole summum bonum of the Bhagavad Gita is 18 chapters, some 766 shlokas. I believe it was spoken in 55 minutes. And if you ever feel like it, you should have a go and see how you could go for it. Because in each and every one of the 766 shlokas is given the key to live on this earth in a material world, but with our spiritual identity and the mode of service. And the whole Bhagavad Gita identifies 6 elements. Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Jiva, the individual identity, not the body, but the spirit inside the body in the form of the Atma. Prakriti, the energies that are around us, that we utilize, but not created by us. Yes, we flick a switch and we have light, but it's created at a power station that we have no connection to via only the wire. And the fact that you pay your bill. The minute you stop paying the bill, they come and cut you off. No electricity. But our connection with the Supreme, even if you don't pay the bill, you still have to perform your right devotional service. If you don't pay the bill, the payment will be next time. The 4th element, Kal, time. Time, Krishna says, Kalosmi, I am. Krishna is the beginning, Krishna is the middle, and Krishna is the end. But it requires us to study in detail. And the 5th element, the final element, is karma, your actions. Now, out of these 5, the first 4, Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, and Kal, they are eternal. They have no beginning. They have no end. They continue. But the fifth element, karma, is the actions that you perform have a defined beginning when you are born, have a defined middle where you exist, and have a defined end where you can no longer perform the actions. So when Arjuna is arguing, can't call it an argument, in actual fact is a surrender to Krishna. The helpless situation that I cannot fight these my kinsmen, then the spoken word of Krishna comes into play. And today's shloka, bearing in mind Lilawanti Masi's life and the dedication, is based upon shloka 14 of chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita. Normally people say, study Guru scholars have said, the Bhagavad Gita commences with chapter 2, shloka 13. Dehinosmin yatha dehe, komaram yovanam jara, tatha dehantar praptir, dhiras tatra namuyati. Where Krishna explains to Arjuna that this body that you see is not permanent, starts as a baby, helpless, has a defined middle where he becomes an adult and independent, and at the end, old age and helplessness, and then passes. But a sober person, a realized person, is not bewildered by this change. But the shloka thereafter, in 14, Krishna says to Arjuna, Matra sparshastu kunteya, sitoshna sukh dukhda, agam apai no, tam stitiks hava bharata. Just tolerate, O Arjuna, just as you tolerate extreme heat. We cannot control, if it's a heat wave, we lighten our clothes, may turn on fans, suvidha that we have nowadays, turn on air conditioning. But we cannot remove the heat. We have to bear it. And similarly, if it's extremely cold, we turn on heaters. We put on clothes, layers. We eat. We know all of this, but we cannot control this. We tolerate and we react. So Krishna says to Arjuna, Matras pasastu kuntiya, sitoshna sukha dukkada, agam apaino. You cannot control these. What chance do you have to control outside? Control yourself alone. Just bear it and perform your duty. Tam stithik sava bharata. You can't just sit there helplessly and wait for it to happen. You tolerate it, but we get to a condition where we cannot do anything. The last solution is given by reciting the name of Sri Hari. Because the name of Sri Hari also contains the form of Sri Hari. The name of Sri Hari also has the qualities of Sri Hari. And when you recite the name of Sri Hari, with your mind absorbed in Sri Hari, with your senses engrossed in Sri Hari, then you become one with Sri Hari. And as a devotee of Sri Hari, Hari himself comes to deliver you. Oh, this is the state that we should aspire to. This is the level of devotion we should have. But we live in a modern world where we get spoiled. We are accepting, I can flick a switch and I'm going to have power. Something happens, I can pick up the phone and get the emergency services over. Yes, it's possible. But there are circumstances when that cannot be possible. And then you realize we're helpless. So these opportunities that we have to realize Sri Hari, why should we wait till that helplessness stage? We should remember Sri Hari from the time that he awakened to the time that we go to sleep. And I promise you, Acharyas have given this guarantee. The Hanuman Chalisa that we just recited has a guarantee at the end given by Shiva, Lord Shankara himself. Whosoever recites this Hanuman Chalisa is guaranteed to be delivered. Yet, when we recite Hanuman Chalisa, our tension is to make sure that we remember and then recount and then wait for the fruit. The secret is in the recitation, not in the fruit. The fruit comes automatically. All of these qualities are demonstrated in our scriptures, but practically practiced by Lilawanti Masi. And the family members will be able to recognize this because the lineage that she comes from, Kanji, the lineage demonstrates the service mentality and the ability that you have to give to the community in order for the community to succeed. All of these qualities, if you analyze to the nth degree, are the spoken word of Krishna. And the shloka I recited today. I will repeat again one more time, and then I'll do the Nrsimha prayers. Matra spashastu konteya, sitoshna sukh dukkada, agam apaino, tam stitik sava, bharata. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namaste Narashingaya.
Namaste Narashingaya.
Pranat
कन्हैया लाल की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। सर्व वैष्णव ने जय श्री कृष्ण। It's over to you now.
Thank you so much, Chandu Bhai and Mahendra Bhai. Jai Shri Krishna, Hari Bol. That was amazing, and thank you for the beautiful reading. I'm going to ask Harshad Bhai Rana to say a few words, please. Harshad Bhai, you have to unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
લીલાવતી બેન અક્ષરવાસી થયા મુંબાસાની અંદર એમનું જે કુટુંબ હતું એ ખૂબ જ આગળ પડતું હતું. કાંજી મેઘજી એ ટાઈમની અંદર બહુ મોટા વેપારી હતા અને આપણી જ્ઞાતિના ખૂબ આગેવાન હતા અને એની અંદર સમાજનું મકાન કરવાની જ્યારે વાત આવી ત્યારે કાનજીભાઈએ ખૂબ જ આગળ આવીને એમ કીધું કે તમે જેટલા પૈસા ભેગા કરશો એટલા હું સામે બધાને 50% હું આપીશ. અને આ રીતે સમાજની અંદર આપણું જે ત્યાં સૌથી પહેલાં વહેલું ઈસ્ટ આફ્રિકાની અંદર આપણું જે સ્થાન છે એ સ્થાન થયું. એ તેમને આભારી છે, એમના કુટુંબને આભારી છે. એની સાથે સાથે હિન્દુ મંદિરની અંદર પણ તેમનો બહુ મોટો ફાળો હતો. આ રીતે જોઈએ તો આખા કુટુંબે ખૂબ ખૂબ સહકાર આપી અને ફાળો આપેલો છે અને એમને યાદ કરીએ કે ખૂબ જ અગત્યનું છે. મારા વાઈફ લીલાવતી, એ પણ લીલાવતી છે. એ પણ ત્યારે એમની સાથે જ બધા સાથે ભણતા હતા અને હમણાં યાદ મને કરાવતા હતા. તો એમના આત્માને ખૂબ શાંતિ મળે એવી બધાને પ્રભુ પાસે પ્રાર્થના કરીએ છીએ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. અને હવે હું ભરતભાઈ રતનસિંહ ધાનક from Mombasa. Any few words, please? Mombasa committee. તમને unmute કરવું પડશે, please.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna. On behalf of the trustees, chairman, and all members of our Mombasa Samaj, we send our heartfelt condolences to the late Kanji Meghji family on the sad demise of Lilaben. Our prayers for the departed soul. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Bharatbhai. And I'll ask Praveen Mama, who has known the family for so long, to say a few words.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I hope you all hear me.
Yeah.
And I am really appreciative of your indulgence. We have got together here to celebrate the life of Lilawanti band, very fondly known as Lily band, to the family and to all who are near to the family. At the same time, I would be remiss not to mention or to remember the great stalwart of our community, and especially Mombasa, late Shree Kanji Meghji Patni. He was a big benefactor to the whole community, and He was very, very big at heart, but he instilled in his family the true values of life, and he asked everybody in the family to live by the tenets of simplicity. And that is reflected in all sisters. And also I can attest to the same quality which was possessed by late Kantibai. Actually, we all know Kanjibai very well, but my family's ties were really reinforced by a very, very, very good conduit, which was caused by Kanti. Kanti passed away in 1970, and we knew Kanti when he was stricken by an Alzheimer's illness. And that is within the span of about 6-7 months, he created such a bond between my family and late Kanjibai's family. Kanjibai's benefaction is very well known to all of us, and it is in the history. His name would ever be shining star. I would also like to pay tribute to Liliben. They moved to England, Santokh Ben, Rama Ben, and Liliben. They used to live in Oxford, and Liliben used to look after the family. And when Ramaben used to go to work, Liliben used to prepare everything, and she was also looking after her mother. So much so that Santokh Ben's pastime was created by watching games of snooker. This is a very known fact. You know, she was an avid follower of snooker, and that I would attribute that quality and the time to Liliben. I was told by Ramaben that Liliben used to love going out, picnics, and even she was involved in bhajans. So this is a small tribute to the departed soul, and we celebrate her life with rejoice, and our prayers to the Almighty to let her soul live in eternal peace and give strength to bear the pains of her departure to all which are left behind. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. I'm now going to ask Priya to say a few words about our great aunt Leela Masi. Thank you so much, Praveen Mawat. And you reminded us of Sunkar, which was, yeah.
The way she called it.
She called it Sunkar. So yes, thank you so much.
Jai Shri Krishna, everyone, and thank you for being here. Lila Masi was my mum's Masi, and growing up, we would always look forward to going on trips to Oxford to visit her and Rama Masi. I still have fond memories of the time I stayed over at their house without my parents, and I had such a fun time that when it was time to go back home, I was really sad and I cried that I wanted to stay for longer. Lila Masi was always so sweet and was always smiling at us and never told us off. She loved bhajans, and whilst she was here, she would enjoy watching them with Ba and watching the satsangs. She also loved the color red, so she would always wear her favorite color. And she always loved getting massages from Rima and my mum, and she loved talking to Jasanani on her daily phone calls. And most of all, she always wanted to be with Rama Masi because of how well she took care of her. We all love you, Lila Masi, and I hope you're in a better place now. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, Priya. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, Lilamasi came to Mombasa on a steamer boat with her grandma and her mother. And she was a bright and pretty young girl, as you will have seen from the pictures. She was lovingly called Lily by her parents, though her favorite color was red, as Priya mentioned. She would accompany her dadima to satsang, so her love from satsang has been from a young age. And all her dadima's friends would want to take her home because she was such a good girl. She was very clever and gifted girl academically and musically. And she was telling me of a time when she recited this lovely bhajan at school and got 98% at school. She said some of her favorite memories were going for ice cream with her father on Salim Road in Mombasa, and also going with the parents to Kilindini Harbour to see the steamer boats. Lilamasi was one of the few girls in Mombasa in her times to go to work, and she cared for her father until he passed away in 1979. Once she emigrated with her mom to Oxford, she looked after her mom until she passed away in 2006. Lilamasi was a fantastic cook. And one of my favorite items that she used to make was her aradhyas. I still remember how yummy they were. And she used to pack loads for me to bring home in my double. She used to love Saturday satsang, and she took part in many videos. As you saw from the video clip, she was dressed up as Vishnu. She liked dressing up for different parts of the video we used to do for Saturday satsang. And she always said that she felt extremely lucky that she had family around her and that she had so many friends from satsang who prayed for her well-being when she was unwell. Lilamasi was loved by many and she went peacefully. Bhagwaneni Atmane Sadgati Ape. And I do want to thank a few people. Thank you to Mahendra Bhai and Chandu Bhai for the heartfelt prayers. Thank you so much to Minesh and Jassi for helping organize the Zoom session. Thank you so much to Ramamasi, without whom Lilamasi wouldn't have been able to function on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much to Ba. Ba gave her unconditional seva every day, going to visit her regardless of whether she was awake or asleep. Ba was the one who gave her Jamnaji in her last day. And thank you to all her Sakhios from Satsang group who messaged her, phoned her, sent her good wishes, prayed for her. Thank you so much. And also to Jayu for always bringing medicine home on time for Lilamasi. So, and obviously the children were always there to massage her or make her feel like a young girl. So thank you to everyone who's made Lilamasi's life that much more fun and and also the fact that Paras brought my mom down on the last day so that we could all see, Lilamasi could see everyone before she went. They say that the sense is the last to go before you pass away. And she could hear everyone. She could hear Paras and Arjun and my mom and everyone. And she could hear the Mahamrityunjaya. And so she went very peacefully. So thank you. I'm now going to ask Jayu to say a few words.
Thank you. So firstly, I'd like to extend my thanks to Mahendra Bhai and Chandu Bhai for the bhajan program tonight. My thanks also to all the Vaishnavas who joined today. We heard about the life and times of Lilamasi from Praveen Mama, Harshad Bhai, who knew the family, and Bharat Bhai from Mombasa. And also you heard some sort of personal tales from Priya and from Hitu about Lilamasi's personality. What I would like to talk about now is actually about her passing. Now, we would all wish when our time comes to have our loved ones around us. and to just peacefully slip away in the eternal nindra and achieve moksha. Now, we can hope for this, but very few achieve it. Now, Lilamasi did achieve this because we were all around her, Ramamasi, Jasumami, Priya, Rima, Hitu, myself, and Ba, my mother. And like Hitu said, oh yeah, and also Paras was there with,
Arjun and Anjani.
that's right, Arjun and Anjani were there too. And on the last day, they heard how, and she was, whether she responded or not, I'm sure that she heard that everyone was around her. And one of the last sounds that she would have acknowledged were the chanting of the Mahamrityunjaya, which Hitu started, Jasumami took part in, I said it a few times. And like it says in the mantra, part of it says, Urva Rukamiva Bandhanan Mrityo Mukshya Mamritat. And in that way, in front of our eyes, we could definitely say that like a ripened cucumber, as it says, her soul just slipped away from the material stalk of life. So this is, like something that you would wish for yourself, and she achieved that. So her life was blessed, and so was her passing. And she blessed us all for allowing us to do her seva for her. So we are blessed as well. And Atmane Sachi Samti Mare, Sarva Vaishnavane Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, everyone. Jai Shri Krishna Sabne. And thank you so much for joining us in prayers and celebrating our Leela Masi's life. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
મહેન્દ્રભાઈ તમે હવે મને લાગે છે અંજલિ ગીત ગાઈ લેશો પ્લીઝ.
हे नाथ जोड़ी हाथ पाए प्रेम की मागिए शरणों मणे साचू तमारो हे हृदय की मागिए मेरे जीवन आयो आप पासे शरण अपनाव जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप बड़ी कर्मदायो के करी हे कूड़ मारे अवतर या पुण्य प्रेम ओ प्रभु जी आपनी भक्ति करे रख चौरासी नाम बंधनों ने रक्ष माने आप जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप जो संपत्ति सुविचार सत्य कर्म वारसो जन्मो जन्म सत्संगति चिरतार तार युतार आलोक ने परलोक हम प्रेम रग रग व्याप जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप जो बड़ी मोक्ष की सुख स्वर्गदा आशाओ रे दीन दीदियो थे दुर्लभ मानवीयो भजन करवा पाप साचो बतावी रूप श्री गण जोड़ हृदय साप जो परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप परमात्मा हे आत्मा ने शांति साची आप हे नाथ जोड़ी हाथ पाए प्रेम की सब मागिए शरणों मणे साचू तमारो हे हृदय की मागिए हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव हर
ઓમ શાંતિ શાંતિ શાંતિ. ઓમ શ્રી કૃષ્ણ અર્પણમસ્તુ. હરે કૃષ્ણ હરે કૃષ્ણ. સર્વે વૈષ્ણવોને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ અને હિતુબેનને પણ ખૂબ આભાર કે અમને આ સર્વિસ દેવાનો લાવો દીધો. સૌપ્રથમ મારા તબલજી શ્રી જલજભાઈ જોશી હંમેશા અમારે ગમે ત્યારે સેવામાં હાજર હોય છે અને ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર જલજભાઈ. બે ભાઈઓના તમને ધન્યવાદ પ્રણામ. સર્વે વૈષ્ણવને અમારા બે ભાઈઓના જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ અને ધન્યવાદ પ્રણામ. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. હરિ બોલ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
સર્વને જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
જય
જય
શ્રી
શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. હિતુ. જય
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. હિતુ. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
હિતુ,
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
હિતુ, જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.